Welcome joining today in the Kailua online study group. Great to meet you here. Completely new day, brand new moment in time. Totally amazing to meet you here. After all that happened, I meet you here. Oh my God, how beautiful is that? So I'm really happy to see you, and yeah, everyone's welcome. So I'll still let you in when it's after time. It doesn't matter. So we have a prayer today. We have a moment of introduction, and then we go to the tape of Joel to listen to it. And it's tape 114B, How to Pray. And this is great to look at that, to look at the idea of praying and seeing how fulfilled our prayers are. So yeah, the invitation today is really it's actually one prayer that we do. So in fact, it's the remembrance of what is given us, and we want to experience that. It is given us and we want to experience it. So us opening up for that is what prayer is. And being in the direct communication is what prayer is. Your willingness to open up for that is what prayer is. And your prayers are going to be answered, of course. Of course are your prayers going to be answered. Of course there cannot be such thing as non-communication. It does not exist. So how could that ever be your reality? So whatever that was, let it fall away, allow it to fall away, because the communication is pure and whole and perfect as it is literally manifested in this present moment. So that is exactly why we come together, where we experience the peace that passes understanding, intellect, science, whatever we made up to deny our true identity. So starting today with Psalm 91, and I got totally touched by the words, so I wasn't able to read it yet. So I'm curious what's going to happen, but so bear with me in that sense, bear with me. So I read a part of the prayer, a part of the Psalm 91. At least that's what I hope that I will do. We'll see. It's going to be great no matter what. So I'm going to share a screen with you where you can read the prayer, and specific parts from Psalm 91 I used in this prayer. But I thought it was just great because Joel uses Psalm 91 in a lot of his talks, and well, he's here, so yes, why not? All right, so I'm going to share the screen like I promised. You know it very well, for sure. I could put this here. So now I just want to ask you to relax into this. Let this come to you. Don't forget to have a nice, gentle breathing deeply into your belly, releasing a little bit longer, like exhaling a little bit longer than you used to, just to allow yourself to release whatever might be in the way in terms of emotions or in terms of ideas. Just give them away, and yeah. So I will read these words and repeat them every 4 or 5 minutes. And we do this 4 or 5 times, and it's really great. So here we go. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall lift you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. So he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. For He shall give His angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall lift you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall lift you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall lift you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall lift you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Right, thank you so much for joining me in the meditation. It's pretty amazing altogether. So, dwelling, dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. So, this is this is our starting point today. And so, looking then at the idea that Joel brings in, how to pray, it becomes interesting, because being in an experience of communication, feeling your closeness to this, what is really present in you, that becomes a given. That is like, yes, of course. And in moments that you forget, it seems to be so far away. It seems to be unreachable. So suddenly you feel yourself maybe even locked up in the world. Or like, well, if I could use any of the attributes that the world gives, and it would help me to say, join back into my happiness, I would use it. And you know that's not working. That's why we're here too. Like all the other things that we tried to do, didn't give us a complete fulfillment that we know is there. That is so interesting. So that is always a part of our meetings too. It's like, this is why we come together, to stay right here and not move from that. No matter how many times you dash your foot against a stone, you know that's not going to stay there forever. But one thing you know very sure too, and that is like a temporary relief is not what you're looking for. So you've prayed for all of it and you got it. You see, if it was fulfilling, you would stick with it and repeat it or something like that. But whatever you asked for, you got it, but it didn't give you what you expected. And now we're in the next phase. It's like seeing that did not work. There has to be something that works, because I live, like in me, ideas of fulfillment and completedness and total purpose are just here. They are in me. I know they are there. And that's why nothing seems to be satisfying to me that isn't that. So here we are in the, say, most secret place of the Most High, and not knowing what to do with ourselves, but literally like coming back into the practice of opening up ourselves to go to the place where you actually can experience grace, where you can experience the light. We have a memory of that. And then we remember it as soon as we experience it. Then it's like, yes, of course, it's right here. Yeah, how could I not know that? How could I ever forget that? All of that, where two or more are gathered in this uplifted consciousness, all of the rest will benefit by it. And for that reason, you may find it a simple matter, or at least a more simple matter, to attain your quiet and peace here than you will when you are doing something alone. But do not be discouraged on that account. The same experience will come to you that has come to us. Remember that it is true of us, as was said of old, that we are just men as ye be. We are just of the same flesh and blood that was corruption, and through every state and stage of it, we have been lifted up one step at a time until we are now nearly a whole step up. So this is something I'd love to share with you, because you probably recognize this too. It's like when you come together here with a shared purpose. Of course, that has like a magnetic attraction, and you're like, yes, I never want to lose this ever again. And so, see, the most amazing thing is, in fact, that it works. It works you more than the other way around. So whether your experience of yourself is that, I don't know if it's working, or I don't know what to expect of this, because now I'm feeling good, but then when this is over and I'm in the middle of my own life again, then there it goes again. I was like, well, I speak from deep experience that is something that's totally amazing, but it shifts, step by step, like Joel says here too, step by step, you see shifts going on. Some of them are so uncomfortable that you think like, I don't know what to do with myself. How am I supposed to function even here? I was like, well, stick with the practice, stay right here, don't move an inch, don't go anywhere, because this actually works. Whether I see the direct results of it or not, whether I, all of this concern that you can have about your spiritual progress, you're not the one to evaluate that, even though you might do that on a daily basis. But the great thing is that it works. It actually works. I can't believe it, how it works. I have no ideas about it, but I see it at work and it works. If it works for me, it works for you. It's like that. It's like unbelievable. But you remember yourself starting this spiritual project, this spiritual, spiritual way. When you started this and where you find yourself now, in your experience of yourself, look what happens. And look what is happening, and look where you got, yourself into and open yourself up to. Like, that's totally amazing that is possible at this point. I have to let somebody in, sorry. And so the thing then with this is it works much better than you think. So we're in this, where we have moments in which we really let go of the world. It's like, that's no option at this point that we come together. We're not concerned about the world. We let that be as it is. Like Joel mentions this many times in this talk, it's like, I'm not of this world. I'm not of this world. Like, I don't look for the results here. I don't, because I did look for the results here and it didn't give me what I wanted. It's like I prayed for everything and I got it, but it didn't do anything for me. So here we are in coming to the place where we actually recognize this is true prayer, like meeting in the place of the Most High, in ourselves, not anywhere else. Seeing that that's a possibility and spending time there, just say, that's where my heart is, that's where my desire is, that's where my true prayer is. In the recognition of that communication, that is possible. Because you have a memory of it, you will remember it. It's like anew whenever that is occurring to you. So you never know how that comes to you. And what we read in the prayer too, it's like angels lift you up. It's literally like that. You have no idea how situations are suddenly reminding you of that. What is your highest place, And that is always like it touches you when it happens. It's so great. So maybe you can remember some of these moments that happened. That's great too. It's like they always touch me again and again. It's like, keep your good memories with you. Like you will need them. It is so beautiful to think about them. It's like, look at that, what happened. Oh my God, that was totally not of this world, but it actually occurred, and it changed me. Like, it gave me such a confirmation that I can totally trust what's going on in every step. You know, even though I miss it for a moment, but I know I can trust it. So and here we are again then, like, meeting in the place of the Most High, say, finding the place inside ourselves where this, say, grace can be, say, unlocked, and we can just feel it. We can just allow it to flow through us. This is a really good time to let that occur, even though it's not under your conscious control, but it's like, yeah, you can be open to it. Yes, there's no threat. No, there's nothing keeping you from it. No, I know your heart's desire. Sure, absolutely. And I know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. See, it's all recognition in that sense. It's all recognition. Nobody can convince you. You start to recognize it, and suddenly it makes so much sense. And suddenly it comes alive. But not by your mental activity, not by your thinking about it. So something happens. Something needs to happen, or happens. Like you let go of something and suddenly, or you're open for something else to come to you. And there it is. And there it is. And here it is. And there it is. And there it is. So that's so great. Here it is. And there's a spiritual integrity which has never been touched in us. It has never been violated. It is our true identity. And regardless of the human life we have lived, of good or bad, it has never touched the soul of our being. It is just as in the last chapter of Living the Infinite Way, that the discords and inharmonies, the sins and deaths that happened to us never touched the integrity of our true being. And in the realization of that, we are made free from any seeming effect that our guilt complexes may have caused us. I love that. So we will listen in a moment to the second part of this teaching of Joel, of this talk. I said the second part. So before that, we do that. I'll play another song, and we have like a little intermission for you to do what you need to do. All right. So I'll do that, and let Joel do the talking here.